The Old Testament accounts for how the witch of Endor supposedly summoned the spirit of the prophet Samuel. Her voice, like a rasp over a bone, created a bridge to the other realm, yet shrouded in shadows, deeper than darkness itself. King Saul crept towards a shadowed hovel, terrified of a metallic tang as the wind howled through the shattered teeth of the mountains like a banshee. Who was this witch? Was it a myth, or did she really possess the power to call forth the spirits of the dead? The Bible doesn't tell us much about the witch, but we do know that she engaged in necromancy, despite the fact that King Saul had exiled all the witches and sorcerers out of Israel before this occurrence. Now Samuel was dead. All Israel had lamented him and buried him in Ramah, even his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. 1 Samuel 28:3. But then the witch didn't leave Israel, as she had returned to the city of the tribe of Manasseh. It was from there that this woman established a name for herself. Surprisingly, as time came, Saul desperately sought after this witch. What could have made him do that? Saul, who was disobedient and impatient, and frequently ignored God's instructions, and enacted his own, came to visit this witch because he was anxious about what to do in an impending war with the Philistines. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. 1 Samuel 28:5. Even though he had already driven out the necromancers and mediums from the country, he publicly disobeyed the Lord when he instructed his attendants to locate a medium, sorceress, necromancer. Then said Saul unto his servants, Seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit, that I may go to her, and inquire of her. And his servants said to him, Behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar spirit at Endor. And Saul disguised himself, and put on other raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him, and they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring him me up, whom I shall name unto thee. 1 Samuel 28:7-8. Though Saul was able to locate the witch, was the witch able to summon Samuel's spirit? The Bible didn't say whether she invoked the spirit of Samuel or a demonic one, but whichever spirit she invoked wasn't very pleased with Saul, and foretold how he would fare in his battle with the Philistines the following day. Even when Saul knew it was not right in the sight of God to engage in witchcraft, Saul still requested the witch to contact Samuel, and she elicited the demonic powers of necromancy with the intent to summon an apparition of Samuel. Then said the woman, Whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, Bring me Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, Why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, Be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, What form is he of? And she said, An old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground, and bowed himself. 1 Samuel 28:11-14. What happened next will shock you. Immediately a great fear took over the witch, as she couldn't believe what she was seeing. The witch expected a satanic imitation, not the real Samuel, to appear. Unfortunately for her, it was Samuel who showed up. Unlike other times when this witch would call upon demonic powers who would always lie, this time around, God turned her deception around by allowing this seance for his purpose. Samuel then rebuked Saul for his sinfulness and told him, And Samuel said to Saul, Why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sorry, distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known to me what I shall do. Then said Samuel, Wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing the Lord is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy? And the Lord hath done to him as he spake by me, for the Lord hath rent the kingdom out of thine hand, and given it to thy neighbor, even to David, because thou obeyest not the voice of the Lord, nor executedst his fire and wrath upon Amalek. Therefore hath the Lord done this thing unto thee this day. Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines. And tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me, The Lord also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hands of the Philistines. 1 Samuel 28, 15-19. Was it wrong for Saul to have requested Samuel's spirit be summoned? Whether or not Saul sought advice from a witch, his fate was sealed. Regardless, he made mistakes that he shouldn't have. First of all, the Bible expressly forbids both consorting with demons and practicing witchcraft. Even when we hire someone else for the activity, we will be engaging in the same arts. Secondly, Saul became agitated because he had a war to fight and was desperate to find out the outcome, but by acting without waiting to get a message from God, he decided his own fate. Saul tried to break God's orders covertly, even though he knew he had done so. However, in the end, even the witch was aware of the terrifying fate that awaited him in combat the following day. The Book of Chronicles gave us an epitaph of Saul. So Saul died for his transgression which he committed against the Lord, even against the word of the Lord, which he kept not, and also for asking counsel of one that had a familiar spirit to inquire of it. 1 Chronicles 10:13. Witchcraft and sorcery are metaphors for cults and traditions that both threaten and appeal to the modern church. These days, there are games, individuals, and literature purporting to have the capacity to call upon the dead for a variety of uses. People have an inbuilt curiosity about the afterlife and other topics related to death. It may sound crazy, but it's real. God vehemently prohibits engaging in such abominations and forbids friendship with those who do. Witchcraft and occultism in the modern era are not just practiced by pagans. The female gender is most frequently drawn into witchcraft culture because they find it fascinating and believe it will unlock mysteries that will grant them power. They also believe they can communicate with the dead by using devices like Ouija boards and several media. It's just one more strategy the devil uses to sway people away from the truth. When it comes to the male gender, the devil uses spiritism and Satanism as a way to implant ideas of control and power in their minds. It is naive to believe that the devil and his demons have our best interests at heart. Instead, the devil uses witchcraft to cage people, as revealed through his demons, for his own nefarious purposes. The Bible tells us that God forbids supporting, encouraging, joining, or engaging with any unholy act, as it gives access to the devil in our lives. There shall not be found among you any one that makes his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. Deuteronomy 18:10-12. Witchcraft is extremely deadly since it involves the very essence and deceit of the devil. Let me know what you think about this story of the Witch of Endor in the comment section. To see more videos similar to this one, click the like button. While you're at it, consider helping me out by subscribing to this channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time.